How great thou art! The hymn born from awe, exile, and revival. This hymn was not written in a cathedral. It was born in a thunderstorm. A pastor stood in the open countryside as lightning split the sky and thunder rolled over the hills. The storm terrified the villagers around him, but when the storm passed, sunlight broke through the clouds, and birds began to sing again. In that contrast, terror and beauty, a hymn began to form, but the man who witnessed that storm would not live to see his hymn known around the world. His life would end abruptly, and the words he wrote would travel across languages, continents, and decades before they ever reached the English-speaking world. That man was Karl Boberg. In 1885, in Sweden, Karl Boberg wrote a poem titled O Store Good, O Great God. He had been walking home from church when a sudden storm erupted. After the storm cleared, the calm beauty of nature overwhelmed him. The experience reflected Psalm 8 and Psalm 19, creation declaring the glory of God, but Boberg's Sweden was not spiritually calm. The late 19th century was marked by religious awakenings and social change. Faith was not merely private, it shaped national identity. Boberg's poem became a hymn, spreading through Scandinavia. Decades later, it was translated into German and then into Russian. From Russia, it was carried by missionaries into Eastern Europe. In the 1940s, English missionary Stuart K. Hine encountered the Russian version while serving in what is now Ukraine. He translated and expanded it into English, adding verses shaped by the turmoil of World War II and refugee suffering. The hymn's journey was not linear, it was carried by exile. The hymn opens, O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder, consider all the worlds thy hands have made. This is natural revelation theology, the doctrine that creation testifies to its creator. Romans 1 verse 20 declares that God's invisible attributes are clearly seen in what has been made. The hymn moves from cosmology to doxology, it then shifts, and when I think that God, his Son not sparing, sent him to die. Creation leads to incarnation, leads to atonement. The greatness of God is not merely his power in the universe, but his mercy at the cross. Then the eschatological climax, when Christ shall come, with shout of acclamation. The hymn spans creation, redemption, consummation. It is theological architecture set to melody. This is why the refrain explodes, then sings my soul. Not my intellect, not my emotion alone, my soul. How great thou art endures because it confronts a modern problem. We have shrunk God. We reduce him to personal comfort or motivational inspiration. But this hymn restores scale. It reminds us that the God who shaped galaxies also bore nails. The God who commands storms also carried a cross. The same voice that thundered at Sinai whispers forgiveness. Awe is not fear alone, it is reverent surrender. When sung slowly and thoughtfully, this hymn recalibrates perspective. It reorders priorities, it humbles pride, it lifts the gaze. Lord, forgive us when our vision of you becomes small. Open our eyes to the majesty of your creation, and to the deeper majesty of your sacrifice. Teach our souls to sing, not because life is easy, but because you are great. Anchor our worship in truth, and our awe in gratitude. Amen. If this reflection deepened your appreciation for this hymn, subscribe to Hymn Chronicle. Each week, we uncover the history and theology behind the hymns that have shaped generations of faith. And if this message strengthened you, consider sharing it with someone who needs to lift their eyes again. Next week, we tell the story of the hymn written by a man after he lost everything at sea, and how grief became one of the boldest declarations of peace ever.